Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing so well. In today's video, I'm going to be going through some of the drawings that I've been doing over the past week that resemble the style of the Bartlett School of Architecture. Now, let's get straight into it. So to start with, I really wanted to do some research into some of the drawings that students from the Bartlett have produced in the past, looking at more of the techniques, the way that they've used the pencil and as a tool and as an instrument, but more importantly, something that I picked up from one of Hamza Sheikh's videos that I watched recently that he published a couple months ago, but it was more on the fact that when he talked to people such as Clement Laurencio, the way that he used the eraser, the eraser is not just a tool to deduct and subtract, but actually it adds this new depth and this new actual understanding of the drawing itself. So we often use the eraser to take away some of the mistakes that we make. However, if we look closely into some of even Clement's drawings and the other students, we see that the eraser is a critical element of the drawing itself. Whether we like it or not, and whether we see it or not, it actually provides the crucial factor and the overall value of the drawing. Using the depth and using the different tones and darkness of the pencil itself to produce such effects, whether it be through lighting, through shadows, and all these other factors. It's really crucial that as we kind of transition into this new digital and AI phase of architecture through the visuals that we make, we kind of retain some of that purity and some of that cleanliness of using the pencil and really going back to the roots of architecture, because it's very easy to kind of produce things on Photoshop and whether we want to make models on Rhino and whatnot, but using the pencil to actually define our vision is so important. I wanted to begin by creating my own sets of drawings, firstly by kind of using the pencil to create these effects, whether it be through the lighting and the shadows as mentioned earlier, by just being much more freehand and much more free form in the way that I'm exploring and the way that I'm kind of beginning to understand this new style of drawing that's completely different to me. And again, through this drawing as well, I've been kind of working with my tutors to work much more in sectional, in much more section drawings rather than plan and like 3D modes. So I've been kind of playing with this, and now that it's in the early stages of my project, I'm having a bit of fun kind of exploring this new realm. And this one was inspired much more by kind of the theme of my project being on the Venice Lagoon and playing with this idea of like the fish skeleton and fish bones and how those could actually be kind of dissected into kind of the layout of the floors throughout the scheme or the potential scheme. So playing with that a lot, and the style of this kind of drawing that I'm doing in kind of the Bartlett style really is resembled in all of these drawings that I'm doing. Again, like kind of playing with this idea of machines and kind of inflatable structures. How could this inform any design decisions that I make? And especially in this one, kind of being much more inspired by the work of Brian Cantley. And as we move on to the next one, we see kind of a combination of the previous drawings all put into one, whether it be through the large forms, the inflatable structures, a much more structural kind of drawing, I'd say. That's a bit of a contrast to what we've seen prior to this drawing. Things coming out, kind of piping, and then this one again, a much more Brian Cantley inspired drawing. What are the visual connections, and could these connections be translated later on in the design process into the programs that I'll be creating and designing within the scheme itself? So much more of a visual tool rather than a representation one in this drawing. And again, this one looks like it's kind of, if we wanted it to kind of degut a fish, where are the organs going? What are the most vital organs? And how could these be translated into the spaces and to the experiences that I want to create for people as they move around the potential scheme? So that's just kind of much more exciting, really, using the pencil. And again, for this one, I was greatly inspired by kind of using a water retention scheme. And if the water was to be collected, could it mean that if it was to go down this kind of central area of the building, would that expand some spaces to kind of store the water? And then how would that be released and how would it be used throughout the program or the programs? And this is the final drawing that I've made and I've been working on, and you're going to see some videos coming up in a bit of kind of my process, putting all of these ideas into one and just playing with the idea, using the precedents, using the examples that I've seen and just adding my own element to it, which I've thoroughly enjoyed. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a comment to let me know what other videos you'd like me to make, whether it's through drawing, whether it's through tutorials, or anything else related to architecture and design. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.